Welcome back to the town of Harlech and to Banished, which, despite having been banished from their homelands, I think they're all doing pretty well. I mean, it's a hard life here. They've got to work very hard for their sustenance and their warmth, but at least they have sustenance and warmth. Now, a few things have changed since the last time you were here. Namely, I have built a forester's lodge in this forest. It is set to cut trees. I've had quite a few people tell me that this won't really impact the herbalist, despite the description of the herbalist implying that if we had an active lumberer in the area, they wouldn't be gathering many herbs. I've gone ahead and I've set this up to have the forester there based on your advice. On one hand, they will quickly replant this whole area, which is currently barren for right now. But we'll keep an eye on the herbs and see if they start going down. I've also moved a fair bit of food into the trade port. In fact, quite a lot is still being moved over there. We're moving up to 1,000 venison. I have not had much luck with trading food before, but a couple of people have said that that is possible depending on the trader, so we're going to be going for that. I will probably build another hunting lodge, or at least a gatherer, in this little forest down here. Now, another thing you probably don't notice, or maybe you do if you're particularly observant, I have turned off weather effects. Now, I asked a few videos ago for people to let me know whether they wanted weather effects to stay or to leave. I am recording at a fairly high bitrate, so in terms of the actual loss of detail in the game due to fog or severe snow, that will be minimized quite a lot in my particular recordings. However, someone did point out that they didn't appreciate just how much of a difference having the weather effect off would be until they saw someone's video with it turned off. So, in the name of science, as you know, I am a slave to science, we are going to try it with weather effects turned off for a little while. It is a bit silly to just dismiss something until we've actually given it a chance. So we're going to see how having weather effect off will affect the game. So I would really appreciate if people would let me know if watching it like this is preferable to how it was before, where you could have fog, you could have snow or rain. We will still get snow on the ground when it's winter, when it's cold enough to have snow on the ground. We just won't see it falling, that sort of thing. But if you miss it, then do let me know. Or if you're happy with it like this, again, do post a comment in the video. Right, now, with this all set up over here, I think we will probably want to move some more of our people from food production and onto foresting. We'll put it up to 8. And in fact, we'll take one off the vendor and put it into foresting as well. Hopefully this will get us quite a lot of wood, because that does seem to be a bit of a sticking point right now. We are hurting for wood at the moment. And on that note, why don't we go ahead and chop down these trees around the perimeter of the village here. In fact, get all of this. Might as well. There we go. Now, I have got a couple of people up here gathering, but we've got plenty of stone and plenty of iron, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that for now. With our food situation, we were actually starting to hit the food cap, so I went ahead and took them off, took a couple of people off fishing. We were doing quite well, so I thought, right, we'll move, have a couple more of our people harvesting goods. We are still hurting for firewood, though. However, I would like to get another house built. So we're going to unpause this one. Very soon I'm going to begin upgrading these houses. We're going to start with this place and also with this one over here. Ooh, we've got a trader coming in. Fantastic. What kind of trader are we going to get? Oh, it's exciting. Ooh. What? Oh, right. Okay. You are a seed merchant. Oh, damn. Seed merchants do not buy, apparently, food. There is no way that we're going to be able to afford this. I am afraid. So we're going to have to say goodbye to those cabbage seeds, as much as I would like to be able to buy them. Now, apparently firewood is a fantastic trading resource. If only we had any firewood. The irony. Well, it actually isn't ironic at all. It's just tragic, really. But we will be getting a woodcutter over here as soon as we have the... Well, as soon as this is built, really. Once we've got this house ready, we'll move a woodcutter over here, and then they can start producing firewood from the wood harvested by the forester's lodge there. And sooner than later, we will either have a gatherer and another woodcutter down here. Now, I could just let the wood be piled up there and this woodcutter come and collect it, but I don't think that is particularly wise, honestly. We're kind of making this place fairly redundant by having all of these various locations to gather materials along here. This might have been better down there, perhaps, or right by there, close to the fishing spot. But we're going to have another fishing dock over here, so maybe moving that down there even. At the moment, we're really not using this, though, this storage location, except, I suppose, when there are trees near enough that we decide to cut them down. And that's what we're going to do there again. That doesn't really affect this. In fact, it doesn't affect any of them. We could cut it back all the way down here. That would give our labourers a little bit of an easier time. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, and we're going to let some more time pass. Hopefully, we will get... Oh, we finished that house. Fantastic. We are moving out our families slowly, but we've got quite a few houses which have one or two very old people in them, like these two, these three. That's a young family. Oh, that's a shame. You are alone. That's a young family. What about you? I'm not sure if this is too old now to start having children. I imagine so, though. But we've got a couple of young families, so it shouldn't be too bad. But over in these locations, I think we had a few older families. Yeah. A lot of people are going to die, more or less at the same time, in that little community there, that little forest community. Not as bad over here, but... Oh, well, actually... Yeah, we're still going to see quite a few deaths around about the same time. So we definitely want to get more children ready to become adults and join the workforce sooner rather than later. But for now, I'm going to pause the recording and I shall bring you back when we've made some progress. Probably aiming towards getting this little place up and running and adding more homes so that we can increase our population a bit. So, see you soon, hopefully. And welcome back. We have a new merchant, and a couple of things have happened, actually. I'll just pause it quickly to show you. We have a woodcutter set up, and an awful lot of wood stocked. We even have a big surplus of firewood. I've increased the firewood limit to 1,000, just because I really want to encourage this. We've had a lot of children mature into adults, and a few people die, unfortunately. But as you can see, our foresters are working at maximum capacity, so are our hunters and our woodcutters. Our fishermen and gatherers are almost there. Builders, we've got 2 of, and we're only working on 1 herbalist at the moment, but that really doesn't seem to be affecting us very much. We've still got a surplus of herbs, quite a large surplus of herbs. So, let's have a quick look at the graveyard, unfortunately. Oh, that's quite a nice grave. That's a big old grave. They must have really liked you, whoever you were. I can't tell. I wish you could. I honestly wish I could click on them and find out more about who lived there. Oh, wow. Who lives in the grave beneath that tombstone? No. Who is buried there? Egad. You could tell I'm Welsh. I think of Anoon. People live in Anoon. They don't die. They just go to a different place. Right, okay, let's have a quick look. We've got 500 fish, 50 hide, and 1,000 venison. And this is a resource merchant. Actually, you're trading firewood, and I no longer require firewood. Sorry. Yeah. However, I would very much like coal and iron and stone. But I'm not going to tell them to automatically bring that. What I will tell them to do... I may set up an automatic purchase order, but for now, I don't think we actually want to trade with you. I'm sorry. So you're going to be heading off, and we're going to be continuing the simulation. Now, I've already laid down the plans for a storage barn. This will take a little while, so I'm going to speed that up to 5. But as we seem to be growing nicely at the moment, I'm also going to unpause that house. Once we've got those houses... those last 2 houses done, we're going to start replacing these houses over here to stone houses, and that will dramatically reduce the amount of firewood that we actually need to use. Now, I really would like a gather over here as well. I'm going to wait for the storage barn to be built for that, though, since it's going to require quite a lot of storage to get all of that put away. And as you can see, this forester is working fantastically. It's producing a lot of new saplings and planting them around the place. Now, how are we doing for stone and iron? We're actually okay. Ooh, what's happened there? And oh no, an outbreak of the mumps has occurred. Egads. Right, I was about to say we need a town hall, but no, we don't. We want a hospital. right now. I should have built this earlier. Okay, the hospital can go there right in the middle. And this is a super high priority right now. Well, damn it. Increase priority, please. That's going to take 78 stone. We've got it. It's going to take 32 iron. We've got it. And it's going to take 52 logs. We've got it. Now I'm going to pull some people back off other work in order to pump up our builder so we can get this done as a matter of the most urgent priority. Get out there, please. Ignore this one for now. That is now on pause. Get over here. We need this done right away. Let's dial this back another 2 so we've got some labourers. Oh, that is not what I was looking forward to, I must confess. We're also going to pause this. We'll deal with all of these in a moment, but that is the first time I've actually seen a disease in the game at all. In fact, I'm going to speed time up a little bit since we're just waiting on this. But this should be done quickly, I'm hoping. 3 people have got the mumps. Damn it. Okay, the health is going down. Oh, you're visiting a doctor, are you? Really? Are you sure? So I don't see a doctor there. Are you lying to me, Terrence? Are you hallucinating? That's probably what it is. My lord, the mumps is spreading quickly. That entire part of the colony has picked up the mumps. Wow, damn it. It's quite cool that it's spreading in that particular way, though. I've got to be honest, I'm liking that. That it's not just randomly popping up all over the rest of the colony. It's actually spreading where they are localized. But hopefully we can get this finished very soon. We've got most of our people working on it. Damn. It looks like only 2 people can work on it at a time. I hadn't noticed that. Oh, that's quite annoying, honestly. I'm going to pop people back there and start this back up again. But hopefully this will be finished soon. We've got 1 person without a job, really? Who are they? They are job hunter. Oh, I've put too many people in hunter's positions. Fair enough. Well, you can go back to being a forester then. Oh no, Mumps is spreading to the main part of the town. Oh, it's going to spread out from there. This is terrible. Right, okay, we need a physician. So we're going to pop 1 physician in there and I'll dial that back 1 so that we've got 2 labourers. Okay, 2 patients. Please heal them. Please, I beg you, do it quickly. 3 patients. Everyone who's sick, please visit the doctor. Now, 4 patients? No, 3 patients. No, go back. Get back in there. Look, I know it's not nice being locked up in that hospital with other sick people, but it looks like we may be conquering this. It's down to 2, unless people have died. Oh, Terrence died. Damn it. Terrence, I'm so sorry. Oh well. We're down to 1. We are curing them. That was a little bit of a panic there. But let's get some more things into the trade port. We want some firewood in there. We're going to put 200 firewood, since we seem to be getting quite a lot right now. And that is going very well for us. But okay, we've now got another house. Alright, it's not too bad. 13-year-old and 14-year-old living there. A gatherer and a fisher. Trader and a forester. We definitely need more homes in the outlying areas, because we're seeing the jobs that should be over here living in the main town. That's not great. Now, the other thing I'm going to need down here eventually is a well. Let's actually dial the speed back a little bit. We've got more than enough labourers at the moment, so let's continue to stockpile food. How full is that? That's not nearly full enough. Let's push this all the way up to 750. Sorry, 7,500. That should help us out with that a little bit. Now, at least we've got the hospital. That's a very big boon for our community, but it has utterly destroyed our iron reserves. So, we actually do need these iron rocks to be gathered, and while we're out here, may as well gather the stone as well. I'll leave the wood since we seem to be doing okay with wood, but stone and iron are problems. Zolling, the woodcutter, has died of old age. That is a shame. But we must expect these things. In fact, I'll actually pull... We'll just leave 1 gather and 1 fisherman slot free for now. We seem to be doing okay otherwise. Got 13 children, 46 adults, and food seems to be alright. Now, once this is built, we'll look at building a gatherer over here. And maybe then some homes. But this is a very small little area. I don't want to take too much of the room up with things like things like homes. Because that's going to directly cut down our gathering efficiency. Perhaps over here, maybe, if I have the gatherer there. I'll have to think about that. We're probably not going to build a hunter down there, though. We don't see enough game on here. There is a little bit, but I think that would be pushing that little island a little bit too far. Now then, I've been saying this over and over, but I think it is time that we actually look at upgrading some of these places. How much would it cost? 10 iron, 40 stone, and 24 wood. Is that the amount of this? It costs the same anyway. Right, well, if I'm going to be starting to build stone houses, I may start specifically building stone houses from now on, not building wooden ones, unless I really need to get some more room for families to move in. Since it's... We'll get a little bit of the resources back from deconstructing this, but we will have lost some of the resources overall. However, before we get to that, there was one thing I wanted to do. We're actually going to unpause that and get that house built. I was thinking about building the town hall. Now, the town hall is going to take a ridiculous amount of resources. My God, I didn't have an idea about that. Okay, we're going to need to wait for this to be harvested then, unfortunately. That is a shame. That is going to be extremely expensive for us, but it would be good if we could do that, since we could then have census information, and also we could start accepting nomads into our colony. Now, we're also going to grab those stones and that iron too. And the stones from up here. There we go. That isn't too bad. Right, okay, well, I think for now then, we're probably going to continue work on this. I'm going to build this area up. We're going to need a well and possibly a gatherer. Where would we put another gatherer? Well, actually, I don't know. We're at 4,000 food at the moment. It is going down over normal, and we are increasing the amount of people living here, but at the same time, it's not going down that fast. So I could hold off on building the gatherers just yet, and instead look at building some extra houses over here, including a woodcutter, because a woodcutter definitely needs to go there. In fact, I might go ahead and do that now. We'll have the woodcutter built over here. I build you there. That should keep you... No, I'll put you here, since you're going to be gathering woods directly from that stockpile. There we go. And we'll let that go ahead and be built. But on the whole, we're not doing too bad. The citizens aren't amazingly happy at the moment. It could be better. Are there anyone in here? No. Okay. But it's not that low. And considering we had an outbreak of a disease, the health of our citizens is actually fairly high as well. I'm pretty pleased with that, honestly. But, given that it's going to cost so much to get a town hall, I think I'm not going to hold back. We're going to go ahead and have these houses upgraded. I'm not going to do that one, though. We're going to look for one with an aging couple in it. Okay. Well, actually, having said that, uprooting an old couple, that might be quite dramatic. No. As much as it makes sense to leave the young family there, yeah, we're gonna move the young family out for now. See, there's pros and cons. If we make the house warmer and the old couple don't actually die in the time it takes to upgrade the house, they'll come back to a warmer house. Swings and roundabouts. But no, I think this is going to be better. It's going to have to be emptied out first, then broken down, then it will finally be rebuilt. And for the time being, that family is now living in the boarding house. So there we go. The boarding house will hopefully start filling up with food and items like that. Hopefully it won't take them too long. Now, as for food, I'm going to pop one more back into the gatherer and see how that goes. And we've got a reasonable amount of fish in there. Of course, actually, that is probably because they were taking the fish across. We suddenly lost 500 of the food that we had stored. I should have considered that. We're doing okay with hide coats, doing okay with firewood. In fact, we're doing quite well with firewood. We're almost back to 500, so I'm going to tell them to bring another 200 across. Sorry, let's add 200 instead of just say bring the same amount that you've currently got there. Okay. A child named Collie was born. Okay, right, I'm going to pause the recording, and I'm going to fade out whilst we get the woodcutter over here and possibly a few homes. I'm not sure if we're going to go for the gatherer just yet. We seem to be doing okay with what we've got. In fact, we don't actually have everyone in there. Though, having said that, someone's just hungry. But we'll see what we have to work with when you return. And welcome back. It is early winter, year 21, and the house is 47% demolished. It finally got emptied of all the stuff that was held inside. So the builders are currently working on that, demolishing it. Once that's been demolished, they might be finished with it right now. There we go. It makes it into a new plot, and as you can see, you get some of the materials back. Now, there's plenty of materials here, so they may be able to actually start this up really soon. I'm hoping that will be the case, honestly. If we can get all of this across there. First, they have to clear out that collection of stone, unfortunately. It does seem a little bit odd that that just doesn't get absorbed into the construction site, given that it is, you know, suitable for the construction site, and why you're walking all the way back down there. But they'll quickly be able to fill this up from this particular stockpile. And once that's done, we'll actually have our first stone house. Hopefully it doesn't take them too long. Okay, we've got a relay going. That's fantastic. It's going up really quickly now. Got 2 people working on it. Oh no, you've given up. Damn it, come back. You lazy swines. Okay, we might be waiting for a little while. But I've made a slight change in my plans over here. I've decided to have the woodcutters by this part of the road. The reason for this is if I do place a gatherer, this position would be ideal for the gatherer since it has more of the forest available to it. The comparison was this. Let me just close. Well, I'll keep that up there just so I can see its progress. I love being able to do that, by the way. Just move, like click on a building, get up its info, and then just position it and move away. It isn't actually attached to the building unless you want it to be. Now, down here, most, like about 1/3, maybe a little bit more of the area of effect of the gatherer was over water, with a bit over the mountain as well. But up here, we still have a fair bit of it over the water, and a lot of it over the mountain at this point. The entire mountain is in there, but more of the available forest would be under the gatherer's area of effect. So I decided to swap these around. Since this really doesn't matter, as long as it's close to the stockpile, that's the only thing that really has any effect on how efficient that's going to be. Now, once that is built, we're going to be demolishing this one. We're not going to have 4 woodcutters. We're already producing more than enough firewood. What we will want, however, is to get rid of this. We'll get a little bit back from the demolishing that building, and the woodcutter that was working there will move down here instead. Ooh, we've got the stone house. Is it finished? Damn it, I wasn't paying proper attention. But there we are. That is a stone house. Ah, fantastic. Hopefully they will not need nearly as much firewood in there. Now, little by little, we're going to be upgrading the rest of these houses. Let's see. Ooh, wow. You are on your own, and you're very old. Maybe I won't upgrade that one right underneath your feet. Let's see. We need a little bit extra stone, but we could have another house up here if we wanted. And I kind of do, honestly. Currently got 52 people living in the village, of which... and 13 children as well. But if we place that there, then we should hopefully be able to get a bit more population there. And we'll start as we mean to go on with that. There's no point in constructing a wooden house just to break it down later on. It's quite disruptive to have to do that. Now, we want to break this place down. So let's go ahead and have that one demolished. So that worker will have left now and will be working over here, which is exactly what we want. Food-wise, we're going down. Herb-wise, it's fantastic. This herbalist is doing an amazing job. I'm actually going to increase that to 500, just so they've got something to do. One herbalist is doing this, is maintaining the herb stocks for the entire colony. I'm really surprised by how efficient that is. Now, some people have mentioned that the more trade posts you have, the more traders will actually arrive in any period of time. So I'm thinking of building a second trader. Sorry, my nose is quite blocked and I'm having a bit of a hard time breathing at the moment. You may have heard it. But we're thinking of having another traders there, and that would mean that in the same period of time we'll have 2 traders appear. They might not be the same types of traders, but they might be as well. So it would probably work out well in either case, since we don't really need that many people there. We only need 1 trader really to man it. Oh, I want that a lot, actually. Don't think we've... No, we're just a little bit shy. A little bit more firewood and we'd been able to afford that. But for now, I'm afraid I'm going to have to dismiss you again. I know, it's a cruel world. Let's bump this up. We've got 800 firewood, so we can afford to take this up to 800, and we'll still have 400 firewood. My goodness, that's going to be a good trade resource. Alright, our fortunes have completely turned around. It's quite surprising, honestly. Now, that's going to take a little while before we can build that. We've got everything there except for the stone. And we're going to need to get that from somewhere. I'm tempted to build a quarry at the moment. I'd rather not have to, though, because it takes up a phenomenal amount of room. The other problem is that, well, actually, I could go ahead with my original idea of building it here and having it piggybanking off this small little colony here. Actually, that is probably a good idea. We're going to go ahead and we're going to build a quarry then. Right, where am I going to need to build the wall? If we place it here, that should give us access to the road without too much of a problem. Now, the thing with the quarry is it permanently deforms the terrain. Once you've placed it, you can't unplace it. So we are stuck with this now. So be very certain that you're putting it where you want it to go. Otherwise, you are going to have a little bit of a problem on your hands. Right, so we want to bring this all the way up there and then across. There we go. Now, once that's built, the thing with the quarry is it is an accident hotspot. As you might imagine, people are mining there. A mine is probably much the same, but with the quarry, it seems a little bit more prone to accidents and is one of the biggest ways that you're going to lose people. It's raining at the moment, and we see nothing. It looks beautiful and sunny. But when you get a quarry, you are going to start losing people to accidents at work. Hopefully the hospital will be able to compensate a little bit for that. Is there anyone in there? No. But I'm not sure. I have seen on other people's Let's Plays that people just flat out die in a quarry. So we may start hemorrhaging population due to that. But at least we will have a... Well, it's not even renewable. It has a limit to how much stone is there. But the limit is quite generous. It'll take a long time for this quarry to run out of stone. So we should be good for now. But it's actually quite a cool building as well. Unfortunately, Forrester has managed to plant quite a lot of trees, so it's going to take them a little while to clear that out. But I think I'm going to wrap this episode up there. So in this one, we've managed to flesh out the little outpost down there. Oh, and we've even finished a new stone house. Fantastic. We're actually starting to upgrade our houses. I'm very pleased with this. But as I said, that is the end of this episode. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you will be joining me for the next. But until then, from myself and everyone in the town of Harlech, do take care.